Yeah, let's take a look at this. Let's see what's up with why is Baldi getting canceled now?
Bro, like, fuck, I was up late last night, and I was reading some of the posts about myself, obviously.
It's 2 hours. We're not watching the whole thing. We're just watching a
some
bit.
people are fucking pissed. Oh. Like, I feel like I made people more mad today than I have in probably like a month. Which is, that's a lot.
Just driving to
Probably
work.
even
I'm doing
6
great.
months,
Thank you.
maybe.
I hope you're doing good as well.
3 months.
Hi,
maybe
Buck, yeah.
3 months. I told Kaisi, I told her today, I was like, if I have one more situation, I'm going to begin a villain arc. I am one controversy away from a villain arc. The artist comment? Yeah. Like, I didn't even think that was a big deal, right? I mean, I didn't. I thought everybody knew that. I did. I thought everybody knew that what I was saying was true. Apparently not.
I'm getting called.
Like,
sorry.
Because so anyway, so there's a tweet. Yeah, I gotta go back. Right.
So what are you getting canceled for?
This dude
What is
goes
happening?
and posts a
Baldi's
tweet about
villain
me.
arc.
Says,
You don't want Asmon to have a villain arc. Listen, Asmon isn't a great guy, but he is just super friendly toward his friends. But I've heard the stories about if you get on his bad side in games, oh boy, it's not the arc you want to see.
Actual brain dead. And so let me go back. Look at
Bro,
this.
what is this?
So
this Twitter account clearly has like brain rot. They're on Twitter all day posting random shit and retweeting all the time. Like you can see every hour they post something. So clearly they're they're clearly like a bit addicted to doing something on the internet.
People, so this dude is not
They're just
happy.
farming, yeah.
Let me see if I can find where he went and they said this. And so
He has already we've already gone through more Twitter posts on this page than I've done on my Twitter. Holy.
Palworld versus Pokemon discussion.
In one day.
But I know something is wrong. Play whatever you want to play, but don't disrespect the artist. Say stupid shit like they did. So anyway, this dude is obviously he tweeted that he called me the N-word and he said I was stupid, but I guess he must have deleted that one. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, so this is a big situation today, right? A big situation with a lot of people mad. Like we're talking about 19.7 million views on this fucking tweet.
That is
like,
crazy.
5
What? Wow.
million views on this one. Like almost 20 million people in the last 24 hours, less than that, have seen this fucking post. This shit has blown up. A lot of people are watching it. And there's a lot of people that have messaged me that are like, oh, I'm so sorry so many people are angry at you. What the fuck?
He doesn't give a fuck, dude. He absolutely does not care about anyone's opinion online. Holy.
What, guys, of course nobody likes for people to tell them that they're wrong. But this doesn't fucking matter. It's a fucking tweet. Who cares?
True.
Chill out. Everything's fucking fine.
Based bald man is based.
Food.
True.
I went to Shake Shack. It was really nice. Spent some time with my dad. Like, this is not like guys. I don't need to be protected. I don't need to. Everything's fine. Okay, I'm good. So we're gonna watch this first, and also like I wouldn't have it any other way. Like I said this on a public platform. Now this dipshit did cut it a little bit out of context, but that's
obviously you gotta make it a little bit more spicy, else you can't get the tweets.
People do. That's what happens. Fuck. I mean that.
He delivered the obvious truth about living in a capitalistic society in the most balls out way to a bunch of people who live in their own bubble. Oh, is that what he did? Oh, okay. That is a big mistake. They don't want to leave their bubble, baby. They want to stay in their bubble. They're comfy there. They don't want to leave that place. How dare you, Baldi?
That's the way it is.
Oh,
and
no.
So, anyway, people are gonna talk about it. Like I wouldn't have said it. I didn't want people to hear it. So let's go ahead. We're gonna watch the clip. We're gonna watch the clip. Cut things out of context. It's not that much out of context. It's a little bit. It makes it sound more aggro than it was. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's a bit different. Damn the quality. Yeah. This is a 2016 webcam quality. All right, here we go. All right, so to expect me to draw a moral line, I have to perceive a difference that I consider substantial.
What is wrong with the sound? What's wrong with the sound, huh?
And I do not consider the difference substantial. I was talking about the difference between procedural generation and AI generation, like generative AI. I feel like they both functionally do the same thing, and I don't see there being a large moral difference between the two things. That's what I was talking about. And I also talked about it in the context of people copying. So, like, for example, like you saw like the parallels between like the Pokemon and the Dragon Quest and, you know, Pokemon and Digimon. Like, I don't view there to be like a large moral difference between an artist using other art as inspiration or to basically create something that's another version of what the original artist made. I don't view that as a tremendously morally different thing versus generative AI creating an aggregate of art by using a million pictures. I don't feel like these are that different.
So, okay, so I gotta just say one thing. I'm a VTuber, right? I would not have my model, my design, without an artist doing this, right? So, and I'm an artist myself. So art overall, it has a meaning for me, you know, and I can't really say, my opinion about this might be a little bit different compared to some, but I think that a thing that people need to stop thinking about is morals, honestly. And that might kind of sound a little bit wild, but I feel like in this principle, because we're going down dirty about it, morals don't really matter at all when it comes to anything, unless it comes to direct like focus for individuals. When it comes to like what are you making or what it is or what has become or the technique around it, usually you don't really think about morals in that regard. What I think is the biggest difference in his example there, because it sounds like inspiration and having an AI create an image for you is the same thing as he's thinking. That is what it sounds like. And I think AI could be a great tool for inspiration of references, but I don't think it's a great tool for using as a baseline or having its defined art. And the reason why there's a difference between inspiration, being inspired by a craft, compared to generating and then drawing it, and then compared to having someone just make a generated AI image, is that whenever you're inspired, you are designing something the way you see it off that inspiration. You are creating your own fiction around this. Even though you've been inspired by an art style or an item, you are envisioning your own item. And the thing that AI does is that it does cut and clip, attach, cut and clip. There is no inspiration or anything like that. The only thing that is happening here is that you are copy pasting things layered on top of each other and then transforming it for the image. While you're inspired for something, you are defining what you're looking at. You're defining the image in your head, and it's completely different. And I don't think an AI can ever really create something like that, because an AI is because the thing is that we call what machine learning is AI. The tool we're talking about here is machine learning. It is not AI, it's machine learning. And what this thing does is literally said in the name. It takes portions of crafts and it learns from it and it uses it to implement it into the visuals or into effects. So this tool can never create anything original of itself. It can only create copies of what has already been like worked on. So overall, there are two. It's such a vastly different thing about what inspiration is and what you can do. What an artist that inspired by a craft or an artist using an AI tool. I think the thing is that I honestly feel like I honestly feel like, so here's the thing that a lot of artists will hate, maybe me, or hate me, or VTuber interest might hate me for, if we could, because of this opinion. I'll get into that a bit, but I think what Asmon is saying is kind of like a little bit wrong, because I don't think they are the same thing at all. The one he used, like the way he's saying it here. But what I think is that AI can never be a replacement for an artist, but it can be a great tool for an artist. And I wish that more people would look at AI as a tool to define new art or create new art, instead of like really looking as a replacement. Because I don't think, I think there's more to art is defined by the beholder. You cannot define what art is. This is what I think as an artist. This is a personal opinion, and I've always thought about this. So whenever machine learning was shown at the beginning, I looked at that tool as a way for me to find new references. When I was looking at references, like usually, I would go outside, I would look at things, I would take pictures, I would draw something, I would go on Google, I would look at this and that, I will see Twitter, I'll see Reddit, I'll see pictures, and I'll be thinking, this thing, I want to save this, I want to use this as a reference, and this is a reference, and I'll combine something together. But if I have an AI, if I have a machine learning that has kind of like taken a lot of sources, and I can just write something random and just keep generating, I might suddenly, after 100 generated images, I might find a reference that really captures what I wish to draw. And then I could use that as a tool to think about, okay, this is my reference. That I can use something like these things to make something myself. But that doesn't mean I would take that specific picture. I just want to make this clear. That doesn't mean I will take this picture and literally draw on top of it, or use that as line art, or use this picture as the art itself. That just means that this picture here is my reference of idea of what I'm building. Another thing that not enough people are talking about is that AI could be a really good tool for filling out things. Whenever you're doing shades, whenever you're doing like filling out colors, do you know how much time you would save if we made AI tools that were more focused on removing the things that take so much time within art that we obviously can do? Like, the thing is that I wish the discussion would move away from theft and talking about trying to witch hunt everything about AI, and focus on the way we could use AI on the benefit of artists to make it way better for overall. Because I would prefer, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had these tools, I would be drawing way more. Because sometimes, as chill and relaxing as it is to sit down and draw for hours and hours, I would love if I could cut that time with half of it. And if I could have like a fill tool, like something like that, to can assist me with filling out like colors, something like that. Or there's many other tools, like many other ideas you could have, but like something like that, it would save drastic amount of time. It would be great. I wish there was a thing like that. I think there is actually, but just overall, I wish AI would focus in that direction. Now, what I'm thinking about is another thing is that whenever we talked about morals earlier, and the way Asmon is talking about this discussion, there is one Addy. Yeah, I thought I've heard about this, but you know what I mean. I'm talking. That was just one example. Like, I won't mean like more tools to make the artist's life just way easier. And I think they could definitely work on tools like that to enhance its workflow. And I think machine learning is a great way to make more references of your own art. because we were talking about morals, and I said that morals in this discussion is not really something you should like talk about. I mean, you should talk about it, but it doesn't really matter. A lot of people are immoral. Even the new generation barely knows what morals are, and we will move on forward. But I think that the legality of machine learning as a tool as it used now is kind of illegal, because you're stealing someone else's art and you're making copy paste tools out of their art without them even having the right for it. So like even having given you the right for it, which is wrong. And I don't think that is fine. I don't think those things are fine at all. I'm talking more about like the primitive idea of what machine learning is. If you could make a couple, let's say you made 10 couple pieces yourself, let's say you made 10 art pieces, and then you had a tool of machine learning that could sit there and learn for a few hours of these 10 pieces. And now you could use this to make more references of ideas of what you could build further on in the future. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be a good thing for artists to have? I think that would be a good thing for artists to have a way to build more references, to have more tools to like make their progression steps way easier and simpler. I wish those were a thing, but I don't support stealing art, and I don't think that AI art can ever, as it is, be anything similar to regular art in the sense of its uniqueness, because it's again just copy paste. Anyways, I've been rambling. I'm sorry. I ramble a lot. Let me read what you guys have said. Let me see. So again, I've thought about this for a while, because like, I don't know. I don't draw that much now, but I used to draw a lot, and I always thought the backlash. I look at both sides whenever I see these kind of discussion. I can completely see the negative of a thing, but I can also see, I don't want to neglect the complete positive. Let's see. Inspire equals stealing. No, you know what I mean. I don't think the inspired by art is stealing at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think what is wrong is whenever you take a line art and you literally just draw on top of it, and then that's your thing. Without the consent of the artist, that is stealing. But philosophically, how do you differentiate inspiration in human brain compared to inspiration in large language models? You can't really be inspired. Language models can't be inspired. It's again just copy paste. The thing is that it's like Photoshop, but it's layering on top of it. So we will never make a machine that can be inspired, or maybe we will. I don't know, but we don't have that now. Maybe we will in the future. I don't fucking know, but I don't think we will manage to make something like that. But who knows? Who knows what the time will tell. Pretty easily, whenever a human works on a piece, even if they are inspired by other pieces of art, they still have a lot of space to improvise and create more details around the base idea. AI is simple copy paste. Exactly, Abe, exactly. And that was what I was trying to talk about. So here's a way to think about this. Have you ever journeyed somewhere? Have you ever been on like a travel somewhere? Have you ever had an amazing experience somewhere? And time has flown by and it's gone 5 years, and you look back at it, you will not remember everything a correct detail of how it went. You will shape it in the way you remember it. That is the way you can look at how inspiration of art is, because you might be inspired by a bunch of images. Usually artists, it's not inspired by one image. They usually inspired by like 3 or 4. My VTuber model, you look at my VTuber model right now. Look at this thing. This thing here took me a year to design. I mean, a little bit less than a year, but I went a lot of back and forward on this model design, and it took me ages. Do you have any idea how many models, how many art pieces of things I have done and gone through and been inspired from to make this? It's more than 20 or 30. I went through, there was one day I went through like 400 images, 400 art pieces to figure out what will be my defining thing. And that is what really is kind of when it comes to being inspired by art, is that you usually take portions of a lot of detail, a lot of things, and you put them together in your brain and you meld it to your own like view, your own perception of it. And that is when you create something unique and you create something of yourself. That is the difference that you do whenever you're inspired by something and create your own thing, compared to whenever you use an AI tool that literally copy paste. If I use AI tool, it will copy paste all of those 400 ideas and put them all together, and it wouldn't really make sense, because even though I was inspired by one thing, I never took like anything from it. You know what I mean? It just was like, oh, this might have like one visual change design, or maybe one idea that helped focus more on another idea that I kind of work more on. You get what I mean? So yeah. I hope I'm making sense. Just like procedure generation. Yeah, exactly. I would push back and say that the reference you develop as an artist are just a form of input, and inspiration is your aggregation of references and ideas into something that your brain can synthesize. The input of the data into a model is not much different in the fact that in both cases, we don't fully understand what happens in the brain between input and output, and the same as the deepening learning and neural networks. Oh no, we don't understand the, like, if we're talking about the brain, we haven't gone that far to understand the brains yet at all. No, but we don't need to make it that complicated and say it like this with whenever it's just a simple factor of you can blend your own vision, compared to an AI that is literally just copy pasting images on top of each other. Everything an AI has done or create, it's basically already made, and they're putting it onto each other. Do you know why you see, like, for example, your finger attached to a clothing, or a clothing like connected to hair in AI, or shadows or visuals are the same? There's because they've already been made. They're literally just copy paste. All the lines, everything is copy paste. In the end of the day, I think AI can replace art, not the artist. I think AI can be a form of... The thing is that I don't want to say AI can't replace art, because art is like what... It's the definition of on the beholder, right? I don't want to say anything like that, but I think AI can be just a great tool. I agree that AI still requires prompt from human source. The creativity in how you interact with AI can differentiate. People cover songs every day, but because their voice is different, it's new art. Yeah, true. The thing is that you could even look at like, I mean, in this regard, you could like, not, maybe this is a bit of a big flip side idea, but you know, whenever you use autotune, that is a form of AI, isn't it? Isn't autotune a form of AI? Because you're transforming your voice into having more bass and a little bit more electronic noise into it. But your like voice, whenever you use autotune, it's still a work that has been defined from your voice. Do you know what I mean? And if you turn it upside down, that's what you could do with AI art. You could be inspired by an AI piece, and you could create something fully and fleshed out. You get what I mean? Maybe this is a little bit like a rough take, but I don't know. I feel like it's the same thing. Like, I feel like, again, AI is a broad thing, and what we're talking about literally here with this art is machine learning. So yeah. I use the new AI in PS to remove the background faster. It really helps a lot. Yeah, those things, like, look, those tools there. Just removing the background, or removing any noise, or removing any lines that are kind of like a little bit odd. You know, just making like definitions a bit clearer, and making line art nicer, filling out colors, adding shadows a bit easier. All of these tools could make like art for artists like way easier and nice. To be honest, that's what AI artists actually do. They try 1,000 of generated stuff. Yeah, but then they just post. The problem here is what they do is they do that, and then they find one piece and they like it. They put it in Photoshop, and then they just remove like the portions where it looks like it's AI. That's what they do. But in reality, that's completely wrong, because you just have copy paste nonsense on top of it. You don't really have any work on it. It's just that my point is that you take that picture and you use that as reference and inspiration to make something different. if we want to talk about morals, we should start talking about the type of laws we should introduce. Yeah, that's what I mean. Morals don't matter in this context. Like, you can be morally, you can, listen, you can be put all your morals as you want, but in reality, the world is what it is. And if you really want to go against something, morals is not going to defend you in court, and you need to, it's better that you get something of protections. And I think if you use if somebody uses machine learning tool against your art, that is theft. That is theft in the end of the day. Maybe there is no rule for it yet, but it should be. It 100% should be, because it is theft. And I think what you should focus on is not fighting people on the internet or fighting people on the Twitter. It should be putting laws of regulation and protection against our crafts, online crafts. That's what you should be doing. Since AI is the gray space in most of the pieces in the world at the moment, yeah, it's difficult to define the theft there. There aren't actually directly taking or reusing. You are reusing if you're using a machine learning. You are stealing something and reusing it because you're copy pasting it. If Nintendo let's say Palworld made Pikachu and they had Pikachu's head on top of another like fat squirrel, but the squirrel looked different, do you not think Nintendo will be like opening their eyebrows? Wait a minute, that's Pikachu face, but the body's different. That's Pikachu. Don't you think they will like sort of catch an eyebrow and be like, this is kind of sussy. This doesn't look right. I think they would. And that is the way you should think about AI art. It is literally copy paste of pieces. And I think that is the thing that people struggle with a lot when it comes to understanding how AI art work, is that they don't really realize that it is copy paste. It is copy paste. It's melding things together. That is what it is. And if you would put this in any other circumstance, it would be against the law. And if you were fighting against any big organization, you would be in big trouble. Big trouble. So yeah, let me just read through this real quickly. I mean, if you're using line art for practice, it's different though. I don't think so. I think that is completely wrong, Dave. I don't think you learn any line art from like stealing something. I don't think that all you need. If you want to learn how to draw line art, you follow a YouTube tutorial and you start drawing lines yourself. That's the only practice you can have. You can use a reference and try to make something similar to it. But if you're drawing on top of a line, you're not learning anything. You're learning jack shit. You're just drawing on top of a line. Toddlers do this and they can do that. Are you trying to make something as good as a toddler, or are you trying to make an art piece? It's a completely different case. If you want to learn draw lines, you draw lines. You don't draw on top of something. That's not how it works. And then to use people like art to practice and learn new techniques, I don't mind learning new techniques. I think that there's a lot of artists out there, and I don't think AI could definitely be like, listen, and I'm not saying that AI, like using machine learning that is out there now, I don't think that is wrong to use that to learn how to draw. But the best thing is that if you're drawing on top of something, it's not really teaching you anything. But you can always use and see details of pictures and be like, oh, it looks like this and that. And maybe that will help you out. But you would be better off to do a Google search than doing that. Hi, Alt. Hope you're doing good, buddy. People draw like gods, but make beginner mistakes in other places. Of course they do. They make billions. They make hundreds of pictures every day. Whenever you make hundreds of anything, you will do. We're humans in the end of the day, so you will do mistakes. I will do mistakes. You will do mistakes. Everybody will do mistakes in the end of the day somehow. I know I did a shitload of things of AI, and that's why I chuckle every time I see somebody having this conversation. Oh yeah, but the AI, I don't know. I feel like people shouldn't stop looking at these conversations as that negative, like in an aggressive way. I think that whenever it comes to anything negative they want to bring up, I think that's just something you should put in a court case and not argue about on Twitter. Wait, do you have legs, Paul? Yeah, dude, I have legs. I have a fuck ton of things, man. Dude, yeah. I have, I guess I never show my full model all the time, but yeah, I do have legs. I have feet. I have tail. I have a watch. I have a belt. I have a lot of things. Yeah. Also, this outfit took a while to design, like, because I had all of these small specific things around. making you circulate your eye a little bit. Let's use this one. I haven't used this in a bit, but yeah. But how is substantially different than a neural network literally through data to find something? What do you mean by that? Oh, you... My internal image of you after you told me as one of your inspiration. Oh, is that the... Oh, yeah, it's the... I know. Yeah. So if you want to get the... So this is one of the guys that I was inspired from. This guy. He's from... I didn't know he was from one of my favorite games that I play nowadays. Sarl. It's an amazing game, but I think it's fun. I'm inspired. My art style, not art style. He is one of my inspiration. I had like 20 pictures I was mostly inspired about. I went through over 500, 600 pictures. I was a little bit inspired by him. Do you know where I was inspired by him? It's only the hair. So like, it's only the hair. And if you remember my old model, you know that my original model as well, I was also inspired by my original model. Like if I go to, can I find my, see, this is my old model. Do you see that? This is my old model. So even though I had an idea of reference to begin with of a design I enjoyed that I used for a long time, oh, you can't see it. Even though you could see that design, I still took that and took a lot of inspiration from everywhere in like that I could find to make my own thing. So even though I was inspired by like this art piece, my hair doesn't look like it, does it? Do you really see his hair on me? And this is the best example I can give it to you. His hair inspired my hair. My old hair inspired my hair. But there's no real definition of that are literally copy paste from his hair that on me. They are completely different. You're confusing me a little bit. Maybe I'm rambling too much. Well, AI is still young, it will be refined. Oh, I bet it's still it's still very early in its phases, and we will see better tools and better work on it as time goes on. They found the One Piece. It's real, yeah. All right, let's continue this.
And I haven't read an argument that makes me believe that I'm wrong. I'm open to reading one, but I haven't found it yet. Original art versus inspirational art. I don't care about that because I don't believe original art generally exists. I think that almost all art is built off of other art. And that doesn't take away from it. It builds on it. It makes it more special. It makes it better. Maybe not better, but sometimes
shirtless version? No, I don't have a shirtless version.
All art is derivative. Yes.
I'll put that in Subathon Gold one day.
Anyway, so that's what I was talking about in the clip. We'll keep going.
Feet Pog.
No. Right. No. And that's really what matters. I don't think a lot of people do. And the truth is that I don't think that society at large sees a large difference. The reason why I don't think that people see a large difference is that I've never seen a large-scale consumer shift to where consumers are purchasing something that is more inconvenient or more expensive.
Remember to ask for the cock jiggle physics.
It's produced. Now, some people do this. I'm not arguing that nobody does this. But the biggest companies in the world are oftentimes the most immoral ones. And I think that there's a reason for that. It's because people don't really care where their products come from. Like, nobody really cares about Amazon workers pissing in bottles. You care about it.
So, Bakya, the difference is that you don't take, so what an AI does essentially is copy paste things on top of each other. What you do in your brain is that you meld your own vision of a thing. What you see and what you remember later on might not be accurate as it is. You will create your own vision of it. I think that whenever, if you had like 100 people and I showed them an image of something and they draw, these are talented artists and they draw it, and after, do you think that from point A, after they draw, they literally make a copy, the copy of it, do you think at the end of the line, after 100 revisions of it, do you think that it will internally be exactly the same, or do you think it will be different? It will 100% be different. Yeah, just isn't just drawings. No, it's not drawings at all. By the way, there's a good theory how centaurs and mythical creatures came to be. Glasses are modern inventions. Are you telling me that people were blind and they looked at horses and were like, yeah, that's a horse, man. Hi there, big boy. Digital memory is precise. Human memory is not. And that's the key difference. Because you meld your own reality. That is the whole point. And that's why it's unique. Precision does not create something different. Precision creates the same thing.
But would you want to pay twice as much for Amazon Prime to fix it?
Mm-hmm.
No, probably not. And the same thing's true with phone batteries. The same thing is true with electronic car batteries.
Is this reality or is this just fantasy? I'm gonna be honest, this year has been weird. Like, we have had so many crazy things happening this year. I feel like the world isn't real. I think I'm dreaming. I'm not gonna lie. There's been so many nutty things happening. Y'all remember at the start of this month when there was Jews making like tunnels in New York? I'm still not over that shit. I'm still every week there's something stupid happening, dude. This year is not real.
And everybody just forgoes morality to participate in these things. And I do not believe this is a you criticize society, but yet you exist in society. How interesting, right? That meme. I don't think that it's like that. And also, I think that that's very valid. That's an extremely valid thing to say. If you want to hold other people to a standard, you should expect other people to hold you to that standard that you are trying to hold them to. Why does everybody else have to carry your flag? And so that's my point. And so I don't think that consumers really care about this in a general sense. Are there consumers that care about this? I would go nuts. Of course. Is there a market for them? Of course. Is it infinitesimally smaller than the market for consumers that just want to consume the cheapest, best thing? Of course. Was made with AI, I'm completely okay with that because it was fun.
The evidence is that
matter. Nobody really cares about this.
The lead developer has been very positive about AI in the past and made an AI game.
We're gonna play
called
this, by the way.
AI Art Imposter that lets an AI artist draw a picture.
Yeah.
And so that was like one of the games.
We're gonna be playing this week.
Yes, just generally has been much more positive about some of the benefits of AI rather than
basically people accuse the CEO of the company that made Palworld of using AI to make Palworld because he liked AI. So they
so what is the reason he's getting canceled for? Is this it? Is it because he supports AI? Is this essentially what he's getting canceled for? Because he's like, yeah, AI is not bad, people use it, it's good, blah blah. Because he's been saying this for like 2 years now, I think. Like, he's been screaming this for 2 years. Like, there's nothing different here.
And you know, I guess general Twitter population, which is that AI is bad and it takes jobs from people.
Well, AI and the sentiment from artists.
Can I tell you the real reason? Go ahead.
This is the part that's going to make people mad. Opinions.
They asked if around Palworld is done. Didn't prove that it's true or whatever. No, they have not proved it.
Of the people that are buying the product. Yes. Like, it doesn't, like, your opinion on it, like, just because you do it doesn't, like, nobody cares. Like it's not relevant.
Isn't it crazy that insensitive Nintendo that is copyright striking, shutting down, and always pushing away their community is getting so much defense over a small indie developer that released a game similar to them that is doing wonderful? Shouldn't this be a beacon of light? Shouldn't people like cherish this and be happy that an indie developer in this time and age, when a lot of AAA is just fucking them over, are coming out with something great? Why are people so much on Nintendo's ass whenever all they've done is give them the fuck you finger straight to their face? Dude, Nintendo always fucks up, like fuck over the internet base and the community making content. What is this nonsense?
It's like whenever one of these, like, you know, really well respected,
didn't take the resource code or
really
anything. They're just inspired.
Directors talks about how bad Marvel is. Shut up, old man. Shut up. I like watching the Thor movie. It was cool. So people really didn't like that clip. And I want to say really quickly that I stand behind what I said 100%. And I'm right. And the emotional outbursts of man-children on Twitter over the next day or two will subside, logic will prevail, reason will wiggle its way in, and people will see the truth of what I said. And the best thing about it is that I can prove it. And that's the good thing about the truth, is that I don't have to bully people off. Like, I can read arguments from people that disagree with me, and I can prove them wrong. These people can't prove me wrong. They can post a picture of my room and say my room is dirty and so I'm wrong. Sure, you can do that, but I'm still right. You can say I'm a loser, you can say I'm ugly, you can say I fell off, you can say anything that you want. But that doesn't change the truth.
I don't think he has anything. So I just want to say this again. Zach is my friend. I loved his content for ages as well. I completely love Zach and everything he believes in. He can have his own rights and beliefs and think about everything, whatever he wants, and completely support that. But I don't think he has any proof of where AI fully taking over somebody's jobs in every regard and it would be successful. We have not seen a game that has used AI fully yet. We have not seen that. We have seen games that use inspiration of AI or trying to take AI as a tool for some of their art pieces or fill out the backgrounds, or generally when it comes to like doing voice acting. We have not seen an AI game yet. Do you want to see an AI game? Do you want to see an AI game? I don't think you want to see an AI game. An AI game is gonna be dog shit. An AI game is gonna be uninspired, absolute dog shit. But let's get into the nitty of this. Using AI as a tool, as I said, is a way that a lot of people will not care about. You had the finals where they used AI voice actors. I thought it was awful, but people still love the finals. But finals doesn't matter. Like, who cares about voice acting in the finals? You don't play the finals to listen to the voice acting. You play it to shoot bullets, right? Now let's change this aspect. Let's change this vision a bit, because I know exactly what he's going to talk about. He's going to probably use examples of where movie studios are taking in a little bit AI to fill out the backgrounds. Games are using AI as a design to make like some pieces of art a little bit quick. Finals using AI voice acting in their game. But what do you think? How do you think Baldur's Gate 3 would be if everything was AI voice acted? Do you think that would be game of the year? What do you think about that? Do you think that would be game of the year? I don't think that would be game of the year at all. I think that would feel stale, emotionless, and awful. A fully game that uses only AI in both terms of voice acting, art style, vision, anything, it's going to be soulless, bland, and boring, and nobody's going to like it. And the thing is that if you have some good sides, you can outright the negative sides. Like, the finals is not really something that you should really look at as an as an example that where AI voice acting is completely fine in the industry and got to be completely ignored. The game is an FPS. You don't care about the like voice acting at all most of the time. Throughout recent plots of movies were so trash that I wish someone made AI and not a committee. Sometimes I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I think that the AI could definitely take somebody's work because they're doing such a bad job. The thing is that I feel like AI could be what's the mediocre side and never anything inspiring and impressive. It could always be mediocre, and that's it. Only human spirit can come up with horror that is Starfield. True. The talent behind Starfield is impeccable. Wow. Would have been dog shit. It would 100% dog shit. That is the AI argument in general. To be fair, I wouldn't be too surprised if they would say most of the assets were made by AI. They fucking soulless. If we're talking about what game are we talking about? Because the thing is that 3D you cannot use AI for 3D. Can I join your guild? Yeah, just whisper anyone. You cannot 3D objects cannot be generated in AI. If you train your AI yourself, it will do what you want it to do. Sorta. Yeah, it will, yeah. So I heavily disagree, Adio. No, about voice acting? No, you cannot make an AI make such voices. It just functionally is not there yet at all. You can make AI to make something that you wish to do, but not exactly. You can never make you can always use an AI as a baseline. You can never make it the way people want it to be. Yeah, but we're talking about now. If we're going to talk about the future, you don't know what the future holds. We never know what the future holds. The thing is that we might say yet, and AI development is surely going forward, but AI has been the trend, right? So a lot of people have put wasted a lot of money into AI. At the moment, that trend is kind of slowly dying down. So we might see that the progress on AI might slow down heavily. So we never know what the future might hold. We don't know if we will get there, but it's a matter of minutes and days. You never know what will happen. And we just have to talk about what we have at this point in time and not really what the future holds itself. Baseline of quality, yeah, and that baseline we should make improvements on.
And that's the best thing about it, is that it doesn't matter how mad you get. It still doesn't matter. It still doesn't change anything. And so I want to talk a little bit about what I said again, and I'm going to go through it. Is that T1, Michaela? I guess it is. Let me go back. I'm going to read this real quick. The people that are buying product. That's right. It doesn't, like, your opinion on it, like, just because you do it doesn't, like, nobody cares. That's right. And I want to extrapolate this. So almost all art has relatively no intrinsic value. Like, if you're at a if you are stranded on an island, would you rather have a cooler full of food, or would you rather have the Mona Lisa? And I think that that's what makes art special, is the fact that it has value, but the value is not intrinsic. Like, a hammer has value. You can use a hammer to accomplish a goal. A nail has value. You can use a nail to hold something in place.
I agree on this, yeah.
And so in general,
that's what I said earlier.
This isn't true all the time, okay? But I'm making a general statement that's not always true, okay? So just please hold your exceptions. Please. I know you have an exception.
I'm gonna be honest. I'll just make this clear. As a VTuber, talking about AI is always such a gray zone because you can see how quickly people can turn what you say and turn it into a bad manner. Again, because of whenever you're in the position of where literally my definition of model is art, you can't, it's a vague area to speak about, and it's not really something I would like to talk a lot about. I was more interested to know, why the hell is Zach getting canceled now?
That you want to put out there and try to pretend like you're smart. I know you have an exception. I do too. But I'm talking about in a general sense.
You are 100% beautiful, art, though. Thank you, given.
A Picasso painting is not going to do
Thank you so much.
But it will have value to some people. And that value is subjective.
100% hot art.
The value is subjective proves my point. And I can give you another example of people that are making art that nobody cares about. Now, you can scroll down on this tweet, and most of the people that are being very angry are people that are making art that nobody cares about. Or you can go over
But what matters is that they care about it. They care about it. They love it. They have fun with it. So it doesn't matter. Like, the thing is that I think I'm going to be done soon looking at this video. I'll listen to it like for 2 more minutes. But I think there's a difference between looking what an artist care about and what a consumer care about. And I guess that this is a very like consumption view that he has, and I don't think it's wrong for him to have this view. I think that's completely fine. But you need to understand that when you are an artist, when you are a game developer, when you're a designer, when you're creating these designs, creating these pieces, these games, these art pieces, this music, anything, you are putting your interest and love in it, and you're enjoying it, and you enjoy seeing people enjoy what you are providing. And I think the only way Zach would understand this is if you put content creation in this perception, because he puts his love and care into making sure that his content, his streams are great and good, and that is where his passion goes in, right? And he puts a lot of time to make sure that this is what I'm trying to define as something other people can enjoy, and I enjoy creating it. And if you have those things in mind, using AI and these tools and the way he's perceiving this as a way consumers want good, eat everything, give me that. It's not the way an artist or a developer thinks. It's completely not the way they want to do things. So as much as I can agree that many consumers will probably see the next GTA, and even if it had half of it was filled with AI, they wouldn't care about it, and it would spend $100 still. Sure, probably would. 100% actually would. But in the end of the day, I think people need to stop looking at this as completely one-sided image and see it from both faces, because both angles have like a different perception and what they wish to create and entail and present.
Twitch.
Does that make sense?
And
I hope so.
Go down to let's go down to
he speaks about streaming later on the video as well. Okay.
Let's scroll all the way
I'm not
down.
watching the entire thing. I just want to know what Zach's getting canceled for.
2, 0 viewers, and they're streaming the same as everybody.
That's me. That's me. Where am I? I wasn't live then. I was sleeping. Oh my god.
But nobody cares
Guys,
about
look,
them, and
we're in Asmon's
it doesn't really
stream.
matter that they're streaming.
Yo, let's
There's
go.
No value to this stream.
Where are we?
They're not going to make any money. Now maybe they will in the future, but whenever they do in the future, the reason for that
famous,
because
yeah,
people see value in them. That's because the artist is empowered by the people that consume their content. And it doesn't matter if it's a picture, it doesn't matter if it's a video, a stream, or anything. These things
Keanu has been a while. Hope you're doing good. Zach will never be canceled. The thing is that I'm gonna be honest. I've said this before. Being canceled means that you stop producing content. If you don't give a shit about what's happening, you're not canceled. Listen here. Nobody can get canceled unless all our viewers just dip out. And I don't think for most big content creators like Zach, like I don't know, like XQC, they can't be canceled. I saw a big Twitch streamer, is like 4,000 viewers or something, a couple years ago. He literally did something illegal to somebody. You know what he did when he got canceled? While this news was out, he put himself in sub-only mode and never talked about it ever. And all of his mods banned every single sub that mentioned it. And what do you know how he's doing now? He's doing great. His channel is in follower-only mode. He streams every day nearly. He has 4,000 to 6,000 viewers, and nothing happened. Nothing at all. Because being canceled is just a mindset. You can never be actually canceled. And trust me, Zach does not give a shit about anybody that is not his friend, so.
Art is fundamentally subjective. That's, I think, that if you think it's art, it's art. That's where it comes from. The reason why that's true is the same essence of the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying.
That's wild, yeah.
So whenever I say an artist's
I'm not going to mention who it is, though.
on their art,
hi, Derek. I hope you're doing good, buddy.
Whenever an artist says this is worth $50 to me, and somebody else says no, it's not, the artist can still try to charge $50 for it, but nobody has to buy it because that value is decided by the customer. That's the way it works, is whenever you go to market with a product, you have to meet the customer's demand. And it doesn't matter about what you think the world should be. It doesn't matter about how you view ethics in art. It doesn't matter about how you think trade should be. It doesn't matter about whether you're a capitalist or not. None of these things matter.
If you give zero fucks, if you have give zero fucks given, Zach's picture is next to it. Yeah, 100%.
Fundamentally, that matters is if what you are doing.
I'm not very educated in cancel culture. I live in Norway.
In the eyes of the public.
I think cancel culture is like more in England. I don't think it's many other places in Europe, is it? I feel like nobody gives a shit. Like, honestly, if I was canceled, I would maybe, I don't know what would I be canceled about? I feel like if somebody would try to cancel me, they would probably make something up, or maybe I said something that was probably twisted in the wrong way. But let's say I didn't do anything. Let's say, and somebody just twists my world and like, I'm gonna cancel you. This guy is a wild animal. Get him out. I hate this guy. I would just be like, I would probably either not respond and completely ignore and just move on with my day and not give a fuck. Or I would maybe just be like replying and be like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But yeah, good luck. And that's probably it. Because I feel like there's no, like, this comes from somebody again, and I'm going to repeat this. My skin is pretty tough. I do not give a shit about many things, unless they are like really close friends. And I personally try to stay away from negativity and stuff like that because I don't want to put resources or time into it. So if I would ever be canceled, I would just completely put most of the time ignore it. Most of the negative YouTube comments I get on my YouTube, I'm kind of just ignoring them or deleting them. It doesn't really matter. I could be like the YouTuber being like, hey, I'm replying and I'm being mad and blah, 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 but put him in place or say something stupid. I don't know. I don't do that though, because I don't really care. And that's really what the way a lot of content creators should really think about, because they have no reason to put effort into somebody that's trying to insult them. It's a waste of time.
And not the public, excuse me, in the eyes of the person you're selling it to. And the truth of that is proven every single day. It's proven every single day whenever somebody makes a video game and nobody buys it. It's proven whenever Riot shuts down Riot Forge because nobody bought the games. Do you want to know why a lot of those people got fired? It's because of you, it's because of you, and it's because of me.
Me?
And the reason why is because we didn't buy and support those games.
I got people fired. Riot fired.
And because we didn't care about them, they didn't make any money.
I did it.
They got fucking fired.
It was me.
And that's the way the world works. Now, I understand that there's a lot of people that are angry because I'm saying this. Don't shoot the messenger. Or do. That's fine. But the reality is that I'm still not wrong.
I don't think that, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think there's any, I think the perception, the way he's looking at it, I don't think he's wrong. Like the way he's looking at things. I think the way he talked about, I think I'm gonna end it now, but I think the way he talked about being inspired and making an art piece and then basically using AI generate the differences, there is a difference, and he's wrong on that. But anything else is defining on the way he views it. And I think he views it in a way of consumption and not really a way of creating. And that is the problem in this whole thing. This cancellation post is stupid. I think this is dumb. I don't understand how people have time to sit here and talk about this stupid shit. But yeah, I think this thing is dumb, and I hope Zach doesn't probably stops talking about it from here. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. What do you guys think? What's your thoughts about this? Are y'all feeling anything that, do you feel that Zach's in the wrong? Do you feel like these guys have something? I don't know. I feel like this is all stupid. Getting canceled on Twitter is now just the same verbal warning in school. First, it sounds scary, but then you realize it's grown adults screaming at you. Yep, truly is. Truly is. It's just a nuisance topic. It's tough to, unless you have go back and forth. Yeah, I feel like it's a discussion point and not really something you can put on a blank stamp on, if you know what I mean. People are mad because of who said it and not what he said. I think people are just don't like Zach for some reason. We're going back in time. There was a period where all VTubers hated Zach, and then he was suddenly, then he was on Iron Mouse's stream, and then suddenly every VTuber loved him. I think we're just going back because people hear some out of context clips of Zach and they just think that he's really a bad guy. But at the end of the day, he's a really nice guy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Zach is a really nice guy. Every time I talk to Zach, dude, he's a super sweet, chill guy. Like, I don't know what to say to you. He might have been like a wild, Rooney kid whenever he was a teen and whatever, but like as an individual, he's a very sweet, nice guy. And people perceive him in a very wrong way as a guy living in his mom's attic, just sitting there and rot, never showering, blah, 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 and being mean to everyone. That is the perception some people have, but that's completely opposite of the truth, which is a shame. It's just heavy opinion either way. Most people have a bias depending on their job life. Yeah, true. Some people are just mad because their art is not doing well, so now they're going to be mad about this thing that does art better than their art because it's copy paste. And I don't even understand why. Why would you as an artist, even compare yourself to AI art or somebody using AI art? It's literally word generating copy paste images. When you are drawing something, you're putting skill and effort into it. You should not compare yourself to that. And overall, you should not actually compare yourself to anyone. You should just work on yourself. Screw that. Comparing yourself in any sort of manner is often it's if you're not comparing yourself in a way of inspiration, you're kind of like just creating your own downfall and making too many negative thoughts in your own brain. The best way, you should not ever compare yourself to anyone. Like, there will always be someone more successful, more better in some regard, more beautiful, and blah, 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 more talented, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't mean that you should start comparing yourself to every single one that has something that you haven't acquired or trying to work towards. That's just exhausting. In my opinion, you all are beautiful and amazing and perfect the way you are. Just work on whatever the heck you want to do. Stop comparing yourself to anyone else. Enjoy yourself. All right. I think that we've talked enough about this. Holy shit. Hi, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe. I'll post videos nearly every day, so if you want to watch any more reactions, feel free to subscribe and I'll see you there.